Yeah, just take out the space and it'll be fine. But like,
Alright, we're back live now.
The stream's not on right now?
Last thing I heard was something about Spy going
Hi,
to sniper.
stream.
Basically, we're just talking about what we were talking about.
Oh. Well, if you guys want me to finish that, if the team hasn't heard, then pretty much like I pretty much use the spy psychology, as in like I pretty much think 10 steps ahead while the spy's like doing stuff, and then I just catch up the spy wherever he's trying to go. So that's how I personally play Pyro. Just listen to sounds and just listen to comms, and then I get my kills.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my philosophy on spy checking is a lot different from everyone else's.
Really? Explain.
Well, it's basically spy checking is more of a team-oriented thing than just the Pyro.
It is, yeah.
Because
hands
the
down.
spy depends on if a spy is bad, then a Pyro can shut him down. But if the spy is really good, he's gonna get frags, he's gonna get a medic, he's gonna get the demo, he's gonna get the sniper, regardless of the Pyro is like the best Pyro or etc. So if your team plays tight and like fast and moving, it frees up your Pyro to get more aggressive, to be on the flank.
Yeah.
It just
It's important to note that Pyro's the best at catching out spies. He's not necessarily the best at killing them. Don't chase spies as Pyro. Just let your scout do it, because the scout's legs move really fast on the ground. So
or you can play the Rocket Man.
Himself. Or even soldiers. Soldiers can chase spies just by jumping.
Is that the Etny? Just like rocket jumping after spies.
Oh my god, I love Etny. He legit just does whatever. Like I'm just like, yo, Etny, can you kill the spy on our bats? And he just jumps and just does that.
So yeah, other classes are better at chasing it. Also, yeah, spy checking is a team effort. Also, look up and not just around, because spies, any good spy knows that you stand on top of things if you want to stab people, and you don't just stand behind people. And like even like lots of pyros forget to like look up. I do all the time, but like just look up on props and stuff. Don't just look around you, because that's how the spy gets you.
Or when I play against Chris 18 or Deer,
God himself.
No. You spy check a room, you look away, and then you turn around like 4 seconds later, and he's there.
Well, that actually works with that can work with a lot of spies in certain scenarios, because they obviously have to just like decloak when you're not looking. So sometimes you can do that. Other times it doesn't work. I don't know. I guess now we've gotten to the inevitable part where you have to say which spy is hardest to play against, because that's just like, I don't know. That's what everyone in these roundtables does.
Let's start with Arts, since he's the top of the listener.
Sorry, I had to fix some stuff.
Which spy?
We're talking about
which spy is hardest to play against? Which spy is hardest to play against?
Does Arts have any? Alright, Arts.
So Arts, you start.
Skip him. Oh.
I'm sorry. I was on the phone call. I'm so sorry. What was the question?
It's fine.
Which spy is hardest to play against for you?
I feel like spies that can aim their gun are the hardest.
I guess we have to preface this by saying that Spy got nerfed so hard that now this question isn't quite as relevant, because all spies play the same now. But
yeah.
I mean, it's been like more than 2 months.
I mean, referring to the pre-Dead Ringer, which was fucking annoying. Pre-Dead Ringer, I feel like Joe shot away. There's spies that can aim their gun, like and two-shot you and just kite you, which is so annoying to frag. There was the points where they had the advantage over Pyro when it came to like DM, because even if you caught him out, or even if you with the icicle and Dead Ringer, he can just kite away and then just 2-3 shot you with the revolver, and there's nothing you can do because your range is so limited.
All right, BM, what about you? Who's the worst?
I can give out names, right?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, of course.
Shit talk him.
The worst spy to play against?
Oh no! I'm saying no. The worst, like he's good, and that's why you dislike playing against him.
It's, in my opinion, it's Demento. Honestly, he's he's so smart. When he plays spy, it's kind of like annoying.
Yeah, Lazy has an experience in a pug with Demento.
It's
kind of funny.
Lazy. Okay, Lazy. Hold on, please.
Let's not talk
real
about
quick.
That. Let's
Lazy.
not talk about that.
He told me to mention this during the Pyro Roundtable. I'm curious.
Okay, I just went to hide in the corner, right? And I think Crab F was on Pyro, and he just hid in the corner with me. And I was talking to Crab F as well, but he didn't say a single thing, so that was like a bit suspicious. And then when I saw the medic, the Pyro didn't do anything. I thought he was baiting me or something, so I just walked forward and just shot the medic, and then that's when I got stabbed. And I was super confused as well.
Is that a dual
player? It just happened.
All right, Johnny.
Yeah. Yeah,
Your
Johnny,
turn.
who's the most annoying? And Johnny's been playing for a while, so we can extend this. Who's just like the worst spy now, and or hardest spy to play against now, and
Honestly,
the hardest ever?
I'm terrible at
you've
dealing
ever
with
played
spies,
against
so
in your entire life.
They all kind of feel the same to me. Like if I run into them and they have a bicycle, then I just die because they just can't. I don't deal any damage unless I'm on a shotgun. I guess Joe.
Any
is,
notable
is,
then?
Is
Any
pretty
notable
good
spies?
at, dealing with like recognizing my patterns and sort of moving in when I'm like wanting to rotate because I like to rotate a lot, and he tends to take advantage of that a lot.
The only spy that, since I've been playing just as long and since we expanded the question, the only spy that's ever been like, oh man, what am I like? I have to like try, you know, is Cobb.
Oh, well, obviously Cobb, but Cobb has been dead for like 4 years. But yeah, no, I do have to add.
I just want to shout out
Cobb is the worst.
And
he
like, who else? Pulse. Oh, Interest.
Interest is so good. Interest is the most underrated spy to ever exist. He's so good.
Oh.
Bowl of mayo.
Imagine a bowl, right? But this bowl has a substance in it.
Imagine a boat full of mayo.
Would that boat float?
All right. What about you? What about you, Zal? Who's the hardest spy to play against ever?
I think Def Joe. I remember back in season 15 Go, I look at a lot of different logs, and he'd be the only spy who can consistently go positive. It's super weird. He does like this craziest shit as well, where like he decloaks in front of the combo, where like your entire team's looking behind, looking for the spy.
Yeah,
and
he also does these things where he'll like disguise as a putis and just kind of stand there in front of your medic and get heals and then stab them and do weird things like that.
Yeah, that too.
It's pretty entertaining.
He's the master. He's the master.
It's like the pub disguise, where it's like you can't tell pub players apart from spies.
Ever since that happened, I feel like spies have been trying like a little bit more harder when it comes to disguises.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, especially with the nerf. Yeah, like spies rely on disguises so much more now. Okay, what about you, Pedro? Jeez.
All right. So I played with Joe. So I gotta say though, I played against him during preseason. He's probably a difficult spy to play against because he like I don't remember who said it, but he adapts to like the Pyro play style. Like if you're gonna play like pussy Pyro and just sit back in your combo, then he's gonna like pretty much be a nuisance. If you play aggressive, he's gonna take advantage of that and stab your combo.
Because I feel like playing against spies like that, him and Pain are good at both stab and the gun. I feel like if your team plays aggressive and like goes like ham and just walks everyone in at the same time, it's a lot harder for those spies to do anything.
Yeah. Also, but like because I was just saying Joe is like really good, but like I think last season probably it was either between Shadowway and Demento, aka the Jacob himself. He like Shadowway would just like at times he would often spam the Den Ringer constantly. If by just telling hey Bor, can you go behind and kill like Shadowway real quick? And with Jacob, he just sit there and watch you, or just like disguise and like pretty much be part of your combo when someone's dead. Like say for instance, like Carl was dead, he would try and disguise as Carl and like backstab my combo, and that like I would sometimes get fooled. Most of the time I try my best to fool. Oh sorry.
For me, I'd say some of these spies I haven't played against that much, but Joe definitely like very hard spy to play against. Like adapts to play. Joe also just has like this especially did before the nerf, like these just weirdly aggressive decloaks that always worked, which is just interesting. Other spies, I'd probably say I didn't play against Feint that much, but Feint was really, really hard to play against.
Oh yeah.
Also, personally, Danish, I always found really, really like I don't know why, but Danish would always just decloak in spots really aggressively that I didn't expect and kill people. So Danish, and I really didn't play against HNG very much, but but when I did in season 19, there were times when like his ambi-aim would probably just be like super nuts. So HNG as well. Oh, and obviously Cobb, but Cobb hasn't played forever. But if Cobb still played, he'd be like the best spy in the world. He had the best revolver aim. And I guess one last one would be Evan.
He kind of started the whole gun spy thing in America, North America.
Yeah, Evan did start the whole gun spy thing. I played against him in gold, and he was really annoying. Really annoying.
That was season 15, right?
Yeah, that was season 15. That was Squirtle Squad, the least stacked team to ever play in the game. They were
Was it
really
worse?
stacked though.
Was it worse than Crank Gaming?
They weren't worse than Crank Gaming, but they were still a pretty stacked team. Like, there's no denying that. Crank Gaming was the worst.
Alright,
Crank
who's,
Gaming was horrendous.
Spring Rolls maybe, or 7? Did you go yet? Okay.
CS7 went already.
Yeah,
Spring Rolls
yeah,
is
Spring Rolls.
I mean, I kind of took a hiatus, and then like I don't even remember anymore. I haven't really played, like, I don't know. I haven't been active again for very long,
who's
so
who's
I
the
don't know. I
spy
guess
from
pass
the
for me.
past?
Can't think of
If you
anybody.
can remember anybody?
Pass? I don't know. I have like a million seasons of gold. I don't know. Maybe Jaden. I like Jaden. He's a cool dude.
Oh yeah, Jaden. Wait, Spring Girls, how many seasons of gold do you have? I think I have like 7.
I don't
guys, I
know.
like this
I
question
should
in
check.
chat.
I
We're
like
gonna start
started
answering
in
questions
gold,
soon.
and then I stayed in gold for forever. So let's see.
Yeah, gold is the best
Alright,
division. No
so
worries.
let's start answering some questions. I'm gonna start pulling some questions from Reddit, and then we're gonna start taking questions from chat.
Oh, I already commented on those.
Let's see.
Right of
anyway.
Spring Rolls.
I'm
I'm
gonna bring up
ready.
some questions. I'm going to the post on RTF2 to see if there's anything that's interesting.
4 seasons gold? Yeah, I don't know.
All right, loading it up.
I think I played 5 seasons of Pyro and Gold and 2 on demo.
I never played gold before, like ever. I just
Alright.
went straight from silver to platinum.
First question.
Well, Gold died when you went up.
Is ready.
No, season 20 was in platinum.
And
And
you
gold
did
was
play
around.
Gold. Then you
No,
did play
I-
Gold.
Wait for them to
Didn't you play
No.
for Door?
No, I played for Fast Forward in season 20. It was my first season maining.
Oh, I thought you played for Door.
Yeah, Evan.
Who
No.
was a Pyro for Door?
Zukima.
All right, so
Okay.
first question from
Yeah.
Reddit: do you think the Pyro should be rebalanced as an offensive, supportive, or offense support hybrid character?
Right now, he's offensive support, and
You-
he's really good at aggression and whatever space. Like, I'm a demo player too, so what I tell my team is give me a little bit of space so I can make more space, and I feel like Pyro is one of the best classes that gives me the space so I can make more space for my team.
That sounds pretty
So,
reasonable. What do you
support
think? Like, do you think
aggressive.
he should remain like that, or? Yeah, I kind of feel that too.
Totally. I don't understand how Pyros can play spy checking the entire time and do 80 DPM, 60 DPM, and then play like that for seasons and seasons and seasons. I just don't.
I'd say that Pyro has always floated in this bizarre middle ground, this sort of third way, where he's just a gimmicky class who fills in the roles that other people could possibly be doing but aren't doing. So in that respect, it would be hard. I think Pyro just fundamentally doesn't fit within that sort of paradigm, I don't think. But I guess if I had to rebalance Pyro, I'd just say, or make changes, I'd say he's probably best as support / aggression, just because the game gets more boring when classes turtle more and are more
Yeah.
predicated upon just being defensive. So
I think it's a good direction to
take.
take Pyro. I would like maybe to clarify maybe as like a generalist role. Like, I think Pyro is kind of a generalist, but like generalist light. You know, not quite as good as the soldier and scout or demo, but kind of like just under that, so they become more support for those classes. In particular, in Highlander, your demo man.
Yeah, I feel like my playstyle is exactly that. I just fill in the gap. If my flank needs help, I'll play in the flank. If my combo needs more aggression, I'll play with the combo. If I just fill in the gap.
Yeah, it definitely.
call it the
is.
fill
It's
in the
been
gap
like that for a
class.
while, and it kind of still is. You're just kind of better at filling those gaps right now with the flamethrower changes. Next question: do you think Afterburn should be reworked to have a purpose in higher end play? And I think it kind of has been.
Yeah, I think it
I
has
like
been.
it the way it is, where it's by the damage you done, like direct damage.
Yeah.
And so, how long is it?
I'm
Like
not
3
sure,
seconds of
actually.
direct damage
I'll
for
test that.
full link. Yeah, but it's kind of dumb for playing against Pyros, and then you just get 1 tick flame, and then you have 60 health to worry about losing overall.
Oh,
in a fight.
Oblivion, this is completely out of out of the this is completely out of left field, but
What?
in this demo of playing, you just kind of shot a flare at the top of house and upward, and the spy was like right there, but you barely missed, and they were cloaked. It's really funny.
X-Hunter hack pack confirmed. He has X-Hunter's hacks.
All right, next question. What do you think? What should be the place of Puff and Sting? Wait, what? What should be the place of Puff and Sting in Pyro's arsenal? Like, what do you guys think about Puff and Sting?
Well, I still like Pyro when my favorite Pyro was still Pyro when Puff and Sting was like the thing to do. Now it's basically been destroyed. Because Valve probably won't revert it. I would say if it's a question, if it's a normative question, then I suppose I would say like, yeah, absolutely, give me like super fast switching, like cool combo Pyro that can Puff and Sting. But now it's useless. There is no reason to Puff and Sting when M1's damage is so gratuitous. Like, it's ridiculous.
The Virgin M1 versus
the Virgin.
I think it really has a place, particularly in Highlander. If you're in a 1v1 versus a Pyro, like if you're using the panic attack or secondaries in your fight, you're gonna do extra damage, and that's gonna be pretty vital to winning like 1v1s against Pyros. And I guess like optimal play for Pyro, which isn't always like necessary, but if you're gonna just try to play pure optimal, you really do need a ton of Puff and Sting, like a lot of like panic attack or reserve shooter, scorch shot, flare guns, things like that. Like timing things perfectly, hitting all your flames so that like all the enemies are in them at the right time. And like Puff and Sting is pretty vital in optimal Pyro, but unfortunately optimal Pyro isn't like all that necessary currently. Yeah.
Also not consistent Pyro.
I guess we didn't talk about this, and we probably should have for just like 30 seconds, but like Pyro v Soldier, I don't know, just like if he's there, you can just M1 him at this point. You don't even have to reflect that much. If he jumps away, just let your team
strat is
deal
to
with
just
him.
walk into him. That way he takes the most self damage.
Yeah.
Why click M2?
I know.
Too hard.
I don't know if you guys do this, but I would sometimes take a rocket on purpose, like a 100 damage rocket, and because when like a soldier would shoot a rocket and he's like, oh, I got him, I'm going to shoot him again because he's lit, I want to finish the frag real fast, and then that's when you reflect the rocket and you kill him.
Some soldiers do that like on purpose. They know you're going to do that, so they mistime the second rocket though. Like I know does that in a few different soldiers.
Yeah, 6 soldiers are always the easiest to reflect because they're not acclimated dealing with Pyros. Highlander soldiers often shoot rockets at weird times.
It becomes a game of like who can put more pressure on the other player to like act first.
Except now you just M1 them and they die in 2 seconds. So it's
it depends on how much health you have when you fight them and things like that too. But
totally
if you're like even, then it's pretty much exactly as you say.
Yeah.
I think the only comment on that is like realistically, like 90% of the time they're going to be on gunboats, so you shouldn't push a fight when you know that like you might not win because they might jump out. So like don't push a fight if it like hurts you a lot positioning wise and like health wise. Because they can just run away. It's like not worth it. You're just gonna like die for it.
That's the reason Pyro v Soldier is a fight where it's like you just have to wait for the soldier to come to you. You don't like actively engage soldiers that much because he can just bait you into his team so easily, and then it's just not worth it, even if you do kill him. So generally,
the short range nature of Pyro kind of makes it a baity class in general. Like unless you're like going super heavy on shotgun, you're pretty much gonna be baiting your team for a lot of like fights if you're trying to get in close. Yeah,
I mean, if you get good flare range,
it's just like if you're relying on close range flames.
Even with the changes right now, I'm doing like 50-50 with flames and my secondary, which is I feel like Pyro should be played 50-50.
Do we need to talk about 6's viability, Pyro?
Actually, speaking of that, I'm actually playing ECA Open Pyro this season.
I assume it's a no scrim team then, because nobody's gonna
I'm on the Crab F no scrim team. I'm playing Pyro, so probably.
I'm also a degenerate. It's cool though.
I
feel like Pyro wouldn't. I mean, depends. Like some people, like I noticed, like invite teams just use Pyro on last pretty much, but I feel like it could at times like depends on the situation. Depends on the team. If they're like. Pretty much you think, oh, Pyro is just a class that can't shoot me and has no hit scan. What is it going to do? If you underestimate a Pyro that's like, I don't know, been playing for C, you're probably going to get pwned. I don't know. Personally, that's my opinion.
What is the 6's experience of everybody in here, I guess?
I won gold 6's.
UGC season 14, because it's 2 seasons ahead, always. UGC season 14 6's in steel. That was great. We played 3 matches and died. That is the breadth of my Sixes experience. It really runs the gamut. I know.
I
I'm an
was a
expert.
sub demo for an intermediate team. I did play. I did play some scout too in open, but never really rostered.
Yeah.
I like Sixes actually. I like Sixes demo and Sixes scout.
I like playing Sixes Scout because it's basically how I play on Pyro, only I actually kill things now.
I like Sixes scout more because I can play other classes.
Oh yeah, true.
To like heavy sniper pyro.
Yes. Let me.
Are there any other questions, Johnny?
Let's see. We have
Okay.
Do you prefer the new or old flames visually wise, and why? And I would say we all prefer the old. Visually.
Old flames are I don't know. I could see if I play with view models, I can't see anything with the flames, the new ones. But with the old ones, I can actually sort of see.
I've always played with flames off.
Yeah, I still have flames off, I think.
But like if you're
I
not
have
playing
flames
with,
on.
if you're not playing with flames off, you're either
I
a
play with
genius
flames
and I just don't
on.
know about it, or you're like being stupid.
Play with flames on too.
Oh.
I haven't played with flames in like 5 years.
I think flames on was viable if you had like 5 ping. It was like actually
back then,
accurate to like what it
that's
is.
True. Yeah, that's true.
So you can play with flames, huh?
Yeah, I could. But like now
There's
it's
some
always
edge
accurate.
cases
Well,
where it's,
mostly accurate,
like,
I guess.
if you split flames around a corner, they kind of, some of them don't appear. I think it's weird. Personally, I prefer them, the new flames visually, just because they show where they are. In terms of like what you can and can't see, that's probably an effective, like, since they're showing all of these tons of particles, it's hard to see through them, and it's kind of hard to change that unless you like reduce the effectiveness of shake to aim.
Yeah, visually, because when playing against it, it's a lot easier to shoot them and headshot them and pipe them and stuff. But since I never played with flames, basically my entire UGC career, there's no need. Like, I don't care what they look like, pretty much.
So okay,
when it comes
is
to
it
first
better
person,
to Uber the Pyro over the Scout and Demo, if ever?
Close range. Close range.
Crowd control.
And stuffing on payload. Uber the Pyro.
Yes.
and you have the vlog crits ready.
Or you're just a god and you can just flare everyone.
Yeah, I mean Pyro Uber is like basically the close range is I think the most relevant. Like if the Pyro is close to everyone, Pyro Ubers are like incredible. He just kills everyone. If they're obviously more on the retreat, definitely don't Uber the Pyro, Uber the Scout, because that's better. Payload defense, Uber the Pyro because that's what you do. Yeah. Basically.
Payload, what I've been telling, or like second win, what I'm noticing is like, okay, I'm gonna take the Uber, but I want my Pyro to take the Uber and get really deep in as well, and while my Scout will just like try to flank and wrap around them, cut them off.
I personally feel sorry. I personally feel that Scout and Pyro Ubers could actually work very well because, like, if you're trying to get an exchange off or just chase the medic,
help with that so
you
much.
could just have your Pyro just do all the damage.
If you can get a whip before
take
you
care
Uber,
of like the heavy
that changes a lot.
Oh yeah, of course. If you just go like turn into a car, be like, vroom, vroom.
Yeah, I agree with the like on Viaduct, I would sometimes not take the Uber and just let my Scout and Pyro take the Uber, get forward, and I'll just be there to support whatever damage, I could. But not
I learned how to do that like quite often on DK because like Mustard Overlord, no offense to him, but he was a meat shield of the team, so like I would just pretty much take every Uber. I just do damage and just like support Vipa if he's getting out.
Ketchup under, man.
All right.
Help my bug doctor.
I'm gonna start fielding questions from the chat. In particular, we're probably gonna have a bunch of questions from the YouTube chat. So let's see. We have we're doing both.
YouTube streaming was the thing.
You can only have it on you only can have it if you pay for YouTube
I don't think
Red.
so.
Though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch
just
Logan
kidding.
Paul,
That's
The
thing.
Shining. You know, go
Yeah,
watch
actually,
Logan Paul, guys.
Logan Paul was supposed to be in this Pyro Roundtable to talk about his experience, but he couldn't make it. He was.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something to do with issues
Stock
at
versus
YouTube.
Degreaser was the most recent question. Yeah.
So
I'll go in depth about why that is.
Degreaser hands down.
Because there's like 90% of the time the Degreaser's at just as good as Stock is in terms of like flaming and attacking, and it also extends your options because you can use your secondaries and melees a lot more often, particularly like power jack and like flare punches and things like that. You can use those and still have access, very quick access to your degreaser for close range, like protection or air blast or anything like that. So basically, you could just do a lot more often with the degreaser.
Yeah, when I play against a stock pyro, I can just, as demo, just walk into him. Like, sure, he can reflect one or two, but
they're not going to be able to do enough damage because they're stuck on their air blast.
Wow.
Like they're not really doing anything during that cooldown.
Yeah.
The degreaser still has the damage penalty. I think you could make a case for stock, but since they both do like same flame damage,
I thought
it's like obviously degreaser. Yeah.
Even when degreaser was like what, -10?
Yeah, I think it was -10.
It was still like optimal. It was just.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, if it still had -10 with new flames.
Yeah, that's the only situation where you
make
like,
I don't
maybe.
think so. You would only lose like what, like 1 damage
but
I don't know,
particle.
It would be significant because they
thing.
buff damage overall, right?
I
don't
would do
know
like
how math works,
175
so.
DPS minus 10% would be like 160 something DPS. I'm not sure if I get that correct.
Good chunk.
Honestly.
I don't know. I can't really visualize that.
Hey, I'm just gonna like say, can we maybe switch the topic, like, because we have a bunch of like old pyro players have been playing for a long time, like Spring Rolls and Arts and Seven, and like we have new pyros like who've been playing for like more seasons or like now. So, what is like the difference between like pyro then and now? Unless we have talked, then I'm brain dead.
Pyro then is fast switch, use secondaries for damage. Pyro now is just hold them
things
one.
have changed over the seasons in terms of like what teams do and things like that.
Actually, that is true. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Pyro used to be far more passive. Slowly,
and then,
Pyro then
like,
became
the heavy
more
would
aggressive.
I remember the heavy would play more aggressively from what I've seen, like in like K&D versus MTS, like cast or some shit. Like I would just see the heavy, like Bill would just walk in.
Heavy
then, like,
Arrow was season 5.
No, that was just Dill. That was just Dill.
Yeah, that was just Dill.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I feel like Pyro's like now compared to then is like, yeah, like you said, it's much more aggressive. Like the Pyro's like much more of like a DM oriented class now.
I'll say Pyro could afford to take more heals and actually have it not be stupid because he could do so much more damage.
Yeah, because you could just easily just stuff an Uber with just one single buff, or you could just like destroy a whole like team with just one single Uber. Like depends how close. Like if you have another player in Uber, because like Pyro solos do not work.
I just
because
picked it as
if
like
the Pyro's team is smart, he would just stuff
Okay,
you easily. But if you had a scout or demo with you, you could easily take out Pyro out of the equation and get an algebraic equation. Now, if you want to kill yourself in college. Alright, that's like reference to my life. But anyway, the point I'm saying is that Pyro in an Uber now is much more effective than back then, because like you had to rely on your secondary more back then. Like you could just be like a full-on shotgun pyro without using your degreaser, or just a flare pyro without even like using like more than 3 seconds of your. Yeah.
It's more viable now.
For sure.
The pyro Ubers.
Because we have more options to be successful. Also, I'd like to make a correction on something. Go for it.
Or you guys don't take Ubers and do the same thing.
That sounds good too.
I think I don't know. I feel like some people in Ubers like I don't know. Some pyros like not in this fumble, but like sometimes like when they take an Uber, they don't know what to do. Like I feel like some pyros haven't learned. Like in Silver, at least from my scene, like some demo reviews I've done, don't know how to play aggressive. Like the opportune times to play aggressively.
Yeah, I agree. I do definitely agree. Like holding the W key is really difficult for a lot of people.
It's legit, yeah.
But I'm half kidding. I'm half kidding, but some people do have this like pathological aversion towards walking forward.
No,
some pyros are just
could be like trauma. Could be like trauma in childhood. Could be PTSD from like a bad experience growing up. I don't know. Some people. Don't
I'm not gonna say the pyro main told me this, but like they like every time they like try and aggress, they feel that the med's just instantly gonna get backstabbed, and I just tell them, bro, you remember, take this to heart. The only time your med's gonna get backstabbed is if he has 85, like 80, getting Uber. He has Uber. Like
Also,
pretty
if-
much just
also
like
if you're-
top
also if
enemies
you're-
of Uber.
Also, if you're
Yeah.
with Wall, no, I'm just kidding.
If you're mental, if you're
I'm just
Whoa!
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm
No,
just kidding. I love Wall. I'm
no,
just
I
kidding.
love
Actually.
Wall.
That's actually not the case, by the way. I think the least Bioware medic I've ever played with would probably be
S-Dog 2M. S-Dog 2M.
actually, yeah. I haven't even played with S-Dog, but it would be S-Dog, yeah.
I played with S-Dog.
Oh
Let me tell
god,
you.
I'm
If your
so
medic's
sorry.
if your medic's a bot, he's going to die regardless if your pyro's on him 24/7. He's a bot.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh, shout out to legendary RQA, the best medic in HOPugs.tf. If you guys ever play with him.
Oh
God,
my.
I want to smash my head.
Was anybody in that lakeside pug? He was just staring at Spoo and then like just let Spoo trick stab him.
I think we're getting a little
I
off
was
topic.
so
Oh my
sad.
dude, I just don't understand how like medics just like sit there and just heal the spy, and then he just goes on a 4K. Okay, also speaking of which, Jamento and Jacob, oh my god, they have this love relationship where they like just. If you guys haven't seen Jacob do that, it's just Jacob taking a whole Uber during a scrim against Door. You should remember this.
He did that versus us once or twice, but that honestly was like that happens more now because spies are just using disguises in ways that they didn't before, so people just aren't accustomed to it. Like, it's embarrassing. Don't get me wrong, it's embarrassing for the med doing it, but like if
For
we
sure.
all played med, we'd all do that at some point. Like it's just true. Like it's it's easy to be the outsider and say like, oh my god, how could it happen? But like
When Spoo's
it's
just
like
having
us.
a bad day and you
'Cause
just want
I've-
to Uber him and give him a 3K.
Or like, because I'm pretty sure we have all done this where we reflect like stickies that are on the ground to
yeah,
a
I did
medic
that
and got him
recently.
killed, or a sentry, or
Oh.
I think we've all done
Yeah.
it before. so
I'd like
it's
to point
it
out one thing.
happens.
I've been using the 175 DPS number as kind of a general thing, but TMP has corrected me. He said it's 162.5 DPS to start, and that's only when you're aiming down at point blank.
What is
Yeah,
0.5?
You can.
You do half a damage in this game? Is it like
the health that you
rounded?
see is
Okay.
actually like rounded.
Doesn't
I
it round
forget,
up?
Yeah. But
Interesting. Okay. Oh, is that why like old flames would hover between like what was it
Things
like
like
4
that.
and 5, 6 and 7? I don't remember.
Oh, dude. I think the best question just came up in chat right now. Some Pyro, like some guys mentioned about food, so I think he's asking like, what's the best food in our
I think
opinions?
we should probably skip that because we want to answer
Well.
the questions that we're getting.
Damn.
You look at my alias.
Spring rolls.
Let's see. Slopdog on
Speaking of
Twitch asks
He
thoughts
ate
on
you
player
yesterday.
skill
Beat
indexing
him up.
or lack thereof, and how mouse flail strats impact player agency when good
Retarded.
movement can't evade flames.
That should
Yeah,
be fixed. It's dumb.
there's like
Make
what I
hitbox-
find
make the
interesting is like
hitboxes,
there's a
like,
lot
a
of
quarter
different
of
ways
size
you can
now.
fix that. It's just a matter of like figuring out what the right thing is. Like the most obvious one is to change for flames back to one flame per hit. But there are other attributes to flames that you can modify to sort of reduce shake to aim.
I feel like do it step by step. Feel like maybe doing the 1 damage per tick, and that might be just enough.
Yeah, the
Hitboxes are
hitboxes
so big.
They're about
also.
half the
That's
size of a
true.
player, which means like you can just kind of have it at any like you can have it like halfway off the player's model, and still hit them.
It's very hard to
Mhm.
like not miss like close
But-
range.
Even then, I played a pug as Pyro yesterday. Like I was aiming my flames and trailing, and one time I took a fight. He was full health, and then I was at 30 health, and I still won because he would do the shake thing. And it's like, no, you still need to aim your
depends,
flamethrowers,
yeah.
and especially in the 1v1. Just
Yeah, I
aim
remember
your flame.
that. Where I was getting rolled in that lobby.
You have to like
was playing
if you're
Spy.
playing against Shake to Aim Pyro, you kind of have to bait their range and like use your flame extension like momentum inheritance to sort of put flames into them that they aren't able to reach because they're not
Yeah.
like actually using the flame properties.
Just assume it's a fall
Yeah.
of death that you just like
Yeah,
cannot
pretty
get
much.
within
Or
their
if you're like
range
on a
and you'll
panic
be
attack
fine.
or another
Yeah.
secondary like flare gun, you can use those to sort of add damage. Let's see other question. Plus thoughts on Dragon's Fury hitbox, the size of a truck.
Should be changed.
Should be changed. I don't think I've ever heard anyone use the words like improve and Dragon's Fury in the same sentence because
Yeah, it's
like,
the
it's just
hitbox
so
is
easy
quite
to
large.
use.
It's a little absurd.
Yeah.
I do want a flame shotgun where it's just like the more close to the center you do with the projectile, the more damage it does. But like honestly, it doesn't have to be changed like that. You could just reduce the hitbox. I don't know. Like the one thing I really want is that Valve to actually acknowledge that there are some things wrong. I don't know. I kind of feel like they're just like, or well, I hope it's not the case, but sometimes I wonder if they're just like, oh, everything's fixed with Pyro now. Now it's like Heavy's turn because they just haven't said anything.
That is 100%. That is 100% what they do. Like that's just what they do.
Have a little bit of hope, just a little. But yeah, I think I guess it's slightly unrelated. Just a thought I thought of, like, what do you guys think about something like, you know, keep the way the flamethrower kind of is now, except maybe reduce the box size and like make it fire in more like bursty kind of flames, where you have to kind of aim your flames so that it lasts, like so that they're in those fire for a little while.
Sort of like a burst fire.
I was with you until you said the word aim.
I know it's hard to get used
to.
And
I lost you. No, I think that would be a good idea. I think possibly. I mean, I'm all for anything that makes Pyro like take more skill to actually use. So yeah, I mean, I'm open to that. A lot of it is in theory. Some of these things, it's so hard to know without actually playtesting. Like in theory, some of these things just sound so palatable, but until you actually
I made
playtest them,
a balance
you don't know
mod for Pyro, which unfortunately
Yeah.
I didn't really finish because I'm too perfectionist, and also it doesn't work anymore because the Pyro changes. But I would like to get started on that again and like try out some of these things. Yeah, the lightning gun was one of them.
Lightning gun? The lightning gun?
Oh, dude, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember we MG'd once. We lightning gun MG'd.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like Traylon becomes the best Pyro in the game.
Yeah, I would like to do some playtesting with plugins and like try to figure it out. I just need time to make them. And if any of you guys know how to code, then let's do it. Let's take another question from chat though. Let's see. All right, there's some things I've been.
Do the new Pyro changes actually make Pyro overpowered or just different to play?
Different to play. It's not overpowered. If it were overpowered, everyone in sixes would just use it all the time. Like in pubs, it's overpowered, but lots of things are overpowered in pubs. Like if that's the metric by which we're gauging if something's overpowered, like a lot is overpowered. Like
it's
the Orator reward is crazy.
I think
like
it's really tough to balance Pyro.
It's unfun. That's true. It's unfun
because it's like you have to basically make it require aim, and you know.
I honestly feel like this game would be a lot easier.
Class restrictions would be appreciated. There's like.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, pubs are inherently like going to be unbalanced if you have no class limits.
Yeah.
You know, you stack meds, you get some Plat snipers for every sight line, you get some demos, and whatever else. You know, it's auto win, but like nobody does that because it's a fucking pub. Nobody tries.
Let's see.
Go chain on my neck.
Reading through the chat right now. I think you already mentioned that question.
But like for, I don't know, for like actual Highlander changes, I think you could see the logs and you see like most Pyros are like now top fragging. Especially people who like normally played more passive, it's like still very easy to top frag. So I think it's been like pretty big impact.
Okay, so
but that's how teams don't know how to play against a Pyro, or just like. Because a lot of the times, even I'm guilty of this. Is like, hey, it's just a Pyro. We'll deal with him later. And
so
I think we're all dead.
the best answer to that is probably just like wait and see if it's like actually a problem, or if it's just like people have not adapted to it yet. But in sixes, it's obviously not that much better because double scout is still gonna shit on you. You know, not much you can do. Even if you like eviscerate them once they get within your range, they're just like, I don't know, they're just gonna play 185 heals and just knock it within your range and just shred you.
Some of the sixes
range,
scouts I've actually played against have figured out like if they stay out of the flamethrower range, there's not much I can do against them, and it's pretty tough to bait them into it. Like when you play against good scouts, you have to just bait them. Like a lot of high level Pyro is about baiting the enemy into making a mistake and then pouncing on them.
You just like turn the corner and hope they chase you and just like insta give them.
Yeah, it's like the only way.
Yeah, because no matter how much strong flames are, a scout that can kite will always destroy a Pyro.
Valve does consider pubs when they balance things, and I think it's important to because pubs are where people get their start at, and if people get their start with like 5 Pyros and then they decide to play Pyro because it's so easy, it can definitely damage the game in the long term. So I would like to see some changes to Pyro that like make it so that, you know, we can still be as effective as we are in high level gameplay, but, you know, require a little bit more thought in the pub gameplay.
Yeah, I think the easiest change for that is just like hitboxes, honestly, because it's really obvious to tell like there are players in pubs who would like be nowhere near as good as they like, on any other class besides Pyro, because like they have like no semblance of mouse control at all.
Yeah.
Like they could be
Yeah.
playing with controllers, like as far as I can tell.
Or it could just be like a little. It could just be a little kid just like bashing his like face against the mouse and just like kind of sliding it around.
few
And
years
like
ago-
he's
Like, top
a
fragging.
god. He's
A few
better
years
than
ago,
me.
I had my
team should
sister,
cut me
she
for
was
him.
like 2 at the time, play Pyro, and she almost got a frag. It was pretty impressive. She was using a little controller. I loved it. Yeah, but yeah.
Dude, that's pretty amazing.
Let's see if we can get another question.
Any
There's
topics?
a
Because
lot
we've
of
answered a lot of questions. It seems. I don't know.
I'm
Maybe
gonna
a couple
say to
more.
everyone, and I'll
God
say it to you
damn.
guys too. If we don't answer your question, feel free to put it in the Reddit post. I'll link it in both chats in a second. And if we don't get to it, I'll answer it personally, and maybe these guys will if I link it to them. So we'll get to your questions eventually.
Oh yeah. Oh, real quick, add me on Snapchat. Pedro's the best one. I'll start a streak with you.
All right, I've started.
Pretty much. I keep that private, only to a select few of you.
All right, let's see.
Yeah,
What changes
add
the
me.
Dragon's Fury would need to be on par with the Degreaser, at least for aggressive Pyro. Dragon's Fury.
Wait. What was the weapon? For it to be as equal
at
to the
least on
degreaser, just
par.
be the degreaser.
Is what they said. On par. For aggressive Pyro. It's tough.
I don't know. I think the DPS weapons are like hard to balance because inherently it's just like not fun to play against something that only has like a very limited range but is insanely good at that one range. Like Pyro and Sniper, I think, are the main ones.
For
like
sure.
in pubs I hear the most complaints about. I don't know, it's just like the nature of the class. I feel like if you don't have like a huge class rework, you're always gonna have
You
complaints.
think anything like specific we could like think of for Dragon's Fury that might improve it?
Decrease the
smaller hitbox, less damage.
Damage is exactly.
No, I think
the
the
same.
damage is fine.
Actually, yeah, the damage. Actually, no, I take that back. I take that back. Yeah, no,
Improve
smaller
the air blast
hitbox, smaller hitbox. Maybe I don't know. Maybe make the air blast just do something different and cool that isn't air blast,
That
but
would
still
be-
has
that would
utility as a
probably-
right click.
Yeah.
But that would require like ingenuity, so that's not gonna happen. So
What happens if you decrease the damage like by half of it, and the air
That
blast is
sounds
like a
it
stun?
would bother so many people.
the air blast just being like a Sandman stun would just like, I mean, that in and of itself would just be the worst thing on like ever. That would
No,
just be
not
Oh
like-
atrocious.
Well, not a stun, but like they can move.
No, it should just be
They
a
should
stun.
stun the entire
Every
server.
air blast just stuns them like a
Yeah.
moonshot from the Sandman. And then every time you right click on someone, like it gives that sound effect that's like wow, like when you hit someone
I
with
guess
the
what
Sandman
I'll say
from
about
a
the
really far
Dragon's Fury is I haven't
distance.
had enough experience with it to be able to say like what I would change to make it like about the same as Degreaser in terms of like its effectiveness and being aggressive.
I like the weapon because I think it's a good like start toward making the class more skill index. I think that's probably the best way of making it like, full-time viable, I guess, in like a 6 setting or something like that.
Oh,
As it stands now, it's just I don't know.
someone actually has
That was
a
good.
really good question in chat, which is, are there any pyros you guys
Yeah.
looked at to learn from, like
Huey
POVs,
Lewis.
mentors, demo reviews, anything like that? So I guess I'd start by saying I watched a lot of Huey Lewis's videos before, and I also watched the thing that really got me into pyro was actually a POV of TMP on Haunt, where he was like doing like puff and stinging with the flare gun. I'd never seen a pyro like do it that effectively before. And yeah, Hunt's a terrible map, but that like really made me want to like play pyro. So Huey Lewis, TMP, and also Wispy Pyro, because I liked some of his videos before, and he's been around forever. So thanks, Wispy.
Yeah, Huey Lewis was
Wispy Pyro.
definitely my inspiration. Like seeing his frag videos. There weren't that many other pyros around though back in my upcoming time, so mostly Huey.
I used to love watching Johnny back in the day. That made me want to play Pyro. And recently I kind of watched X Center play, but like
Yeah, I will comment on EX Hunter.
you guys know what
Yeah.
happened to that.
Like regardless of the hacking accusations, whether or not that's true or not, I think that his like positioning and timing was very good, and I was always like, yeah, I want to like get to that point.
Yes, I agree. I think wholly apart from whether or not he did cheat or not, I think his general positioning and game sense was good enough to the point where he is still a good pyro, I guess I could say. Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I played against him when he first started, and that was his biggest issue was positioning and timing. He went in the wrong times and the wrong positioning, and then after going things with him, he just improved overall, and he just took off, and then he clicked. I guess because I think we all have that moment where we do something.
No,
and then
I've always been horrible. I've never had that moment.
Seven, you're literally the best pyro in the game. Why are you here?
No.
You're just insane. You shouldn't be with us. We're all low plat pyros.
Stop.
I don't know about you, Oblivion, but
yeah, Pyro kind of has this tendency that I really enjoy, where like if you play perfectly, then you will win, and there's a lot of really little detailed things. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of little detailed things that you could do as Pyro, and there's points in the game where it just kind of flows perfectly, and you can just demolish teams in ways that like they had no idea was possible.
I'd like to say something. Oh, sorry, Arts, you can continue and I'll speak.
Pyro-wise would probably be TMP. Watching them play Grand Finals Season 8. That was my first season, and then just seeing an aggressive Pyro actually do things.
The Syndicate TMP.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that.
I want to say TMP as well. Like back in the days, I just like watch Twitch VODs of him and be super impressed.
Yeah. So.
I think like for me, it was like multiple pyros. Honestly, it was like around like you, with Pyro or Johnny. It was you. It was 1 point Spring Rolls. It was 1 point Lazy. It was like pretty much a lot of pyros. Like because I wanted to strive to like to be the best at one point. Like I kept striving to be the best. So I would just look up to see how these pyros play and how they're so successful. On different play styles they play. Like Johnny, he plays like a pyro that a multitude of weapons and like can be viable, like pretty much like a utility. And then like RT just be aggressive, like with multiple like a shotgun and flare, and he'd be so good at that. And then like Spring Rose, he'd just be really good at shotgun with his aim and shit. And I'd be like, damn man, what? I wish I was good at that. Like holy fuck, I was like 16 at the time. I really wanted to be like all of you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pyros that I think if we all look back, we can learn something from each pyro and then mold that into our own playstyle. And hopefully the next generation of pyro mains are doing the same.
I just say, despite his toxicity, shout out to Bluebird, who was a very, very good pyro.
God.
At one
Bluebird
point,
is
Bluebird was really good. I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit that many long-range flares at all, or just have flare aim that good.
He had like 10 pings too, so that helps.
Yeah, that helped.
Hey, since we're
Fathom. Shout out to Fathom.
Oh my god, he's a god.
Fathom's really good, and and obviously Satan. Yeah.
Your mic, by the way, Seven, sounds like you're like somewhere else instead of your desk.
Just shout out to Bluebird, Fathom, and Satan. Yeah, the best.
I feel like the new up and coming pyros that will be potentially Plat. I feel like I've gotten there, like my or anything. But like I see BM, since you haven't talked a lot, but like I feel like BM, like if you guys have noticed him in games, like he just go off and just like I see him like improve. Like one game he just go even and like negative, and then next game he go off like. And also like shout out to Elok as well, because like I mentored him. So like I've seen how he grown from a little like silver pyro main that like was hopeless to like potentially be a top 3 pyro main in upcoming seasons.
That initial part of that sentence.
Shout out to the Melon Lord. I played on like the pub she was in one time, and then
the Melon Lord's the best.
And then I killed her once, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so good. I just killed like a gold pyro. I'm the best.
Oh man, I remember that was me. Like I just go into a turbine punch bait and just get pocketed, and I just like kill him, and I just be like, oh my god, I'm the best pyro in the game.
Does anybody remember Blam?
Oh yeah, Blam.
Yeah.
Blam was
He had.
Oh, yeah, I remember Blam. He was good at every class.
Yeah. I think Blam and I think I was streaming a tryout for Boat, and then Hui told me I did well. I was like, all right, I've made it.
Also Geosis. Shout out to Geosis.
Catsy.
Oh dude, Geosis is just such like. I'm inspired to be like spy checking as like Geosis.
Shoutouts to Hiri from Japan. It's pretty good. I don't know if he plays very much.
Shout out to he was like my first idol. He's a South American pyro. He's really good. His DM pyro, he like plays sixes pyro, and he just like demolished sixes players. It's insane. Like I don't
shout out to
know how he did it.
shout out to XX Jim Crow Laws XX. That's the funniest pub name I've ever seen. That guy was awful at the game,
Monochromatic
but
Bunny
that was a
my
funny
mentor
pub
for
name.
a
So
while.
shout out to you.
He taught me all about the shotgun DM. Yeah.
Mono had like.
I would like to
yeah.
say that he had like at the time the best like shotgun pyro degreaser DM.
Yep, I will agree. That was the
Yeah.
one that I wanted to be like, I'm gonna beat that man, and then he stopped playing. And I was like, damn.
Hey, actually, I have like a question for you guys. Actually, how can you like? What has made you improve aim for like shotgun pyro? How do you improve your aim for shot pyro?
Don't play Pyro.
I literally don't use shotgun, so I can't answer.
No, that's what I was saying for swing rules and arts and Johnny. So
Don't play Pyro.
Yeah, other classes.
Play
Play
Scout,
other
I don't know.
classes. Play other
Okay.
classes. Lower your sensitivity.
Yeah, there's a
I'm
question
at,
about that actually.
yeah, let's
like,
talk about sensitivity.
what sensitivity
Just
do
say
you
your
use,
inches.
and is a certain sensitivity better for pyro?
I'm at 25 inches per 360.
all right,
shit.
There's
arts
a there's a
BM.
range in this mumble. There is a range in this mumble.
I'm at 25.
What the fuck?
I'm at
I used
21
to play
inches.
at 14.
What the
Now I'm
fuck?
at like 7 or 10
What the
or
heck?
so. Forget what my number is. It's because I shake to aim sometimes.
I've played everything from like 2 inches to like 12 inches, but right now I'm at like 6 inches.
Yeah, I'm the same as Lazy. I've
You guys
gone
need to
from
clip
like when I
this out of
very first started, I
context.
was at like 2 inches. Then like later on, I was like 10 inches. But like I basically hover around like 6 inches. My sensitivity now is actually 6 inches per 360 exactly, and I like it. It's good. It works for every class. I don't know.
I change like.
Yeah, I like to change
every
my
day,
sensitivity
so
too
don't
and
ask me.
things like that because it makes me focus on aim a lot more than just kind of muscle memory. Like makes me have to like focus on okay, I have to hit the shot now. Let's do that.
I had a question for you guys, especially you, Oblivion.
What
Like
up?
you were talking about how you were striving to improve and become the best at Pyro, and recently you placed, right? So
Yeah.
like, how did you guys improve from silver to plat or like gold to plat? And like,
Oh, we should
I-
talk about that.
Oh,
like,
silver and
breaking into
plat. Okay, can I start the conversation off with like my story of like pretty much how like I got from silver to platinum? Well, actually, a person here I'd give a special shout out to Arts for actually getting me to platinum. Silver season 18, I was first playing on Mitchell Lewis with a bunch of friends like Mirman, Grandy. You probably know them by now. And after it, I placed third. Arts, he made up Polish, and I was just introduced to the platinum community. I got introduced to more players like Bunny from MCM. I got introduced to America. I got introduced to like a bunch of other players in platinum and boat team like Spring Worlds and all that stuff. But I knew you Spring at the time, but like as a fanboy more like. But I just pretty much like grew new people, and then I started just improving, saying, you know, I'm just gonna try my hardest, see people if I can improve on myself. And I started playing. I mained on Fast Forward. Shout out to Fast Forward actually, and those guys, I love them. They're pretty cool. Spring Rolls, you better do them good this season. And
Okay.
I just started like working my way up personally. Like I started just like improving, see what I can do better, like how I can switch my playstyle. Because like for Fast Forward, I played sort of passive / like aggressive. Then for Door, I played aggressive. Fast Forward again, I left mid-season. Seven replaced me, thank God. And then for DK, I just pretty much molded myself to like I will pretty much play anti-pyro and style, and I'll still do the best I can at it. So
I'd say I started off in like season 10 was my first season. Then I backed up for SHM. Shout out to Wolf. Then I played on Imperium
Whoa.
Highlander.
Oh my god, SHM.
And Wolf, yeah, going back a ways, yeah. Then I played on Imperium Highlander. Shout out to Heisen and like those people. Then I played on Sports Illustrated. Shout out to Donovan H. Van. He has a kid now, so he can't play or what something stupid like that. But when
I
I
miss
first started,
Synergy.
what I'm trying to say, oh yeah, I do too. When I first started in silver, I basically was an all DM brainless pyro. Like I had no brain whatsoever, but I just grinded DM like on pubs so much that it worked. So in silver, I just like crunched everyone. Then I went to gold in season 14 and I did well, but my game sense was really, really lacking. Which basically gave me an impetus to improve. So then I like actually like got my game sense to be a lot better. The gap was like I started off like DM on Pyro even when quick switch was a thing was so easy that the big gap for me was actually learning to not play like super brain dead. And then after I did that, that's when I started playing like gold and plat. I'll see a shout out to Synergy, favorite cybermate ever.
I guess
Miss
my
you.
journey
Rip.
was I started in season 7 in Steel, and our team kind of demolished the other teams, and I was just DMing everybody, and Argo picked me up for K-Light like halfway into season 9, and that's when actually we played against TNP on Haunt, and that was pretty funny because I think I lost us the match. Spoiler alert to everybody. I airblasted TNP above me, and he got into the cap on Haunt, and that's why he won. That's how he was able to get it in. I don't know if TNP knows that. That's pretty funny. But Argo picked me up, and what really helped me improve was like getting to know all the Plat people and like interacting with them, in particular in like pugs. Back then, like HL pugs, like we have our new HL pugs, but there was an old IRC HL pugs back in the day. And yeah, Pugnall, that's what it was called. And it was really great. And I think HL Pugs right now is the place to go to improve, because you get to play with a bunch of good players and see how they play and sort of what to do. And
I have a question for BM, since you're relatively new to Platinum, but you're doing insanely in like stats and all that. So how did you transition? Like, how's your transition like right now for like entering Platinum? Like, this is gonna be your first season ever in Platinum for the Doors. I was on that team, very fun team. You'll enjoy it. So how do you feel like transitioning from Silver to Platinum?
Well, first of all, in Silver, my team let me do whatever I want. So I like they'd let me run Backburner full time on whatever map I wanted to. So now that I'm getting into Plat with a really good and experienced team, they're helping me out, telling me what to do, but they're also supporting my ideas like Flog and all that. So it's pretty cool, honestly. And having an old good Pyro main on my team, Zukima, it really helps because he's helping me out with where to stand on maps and what to do, when to rotate.
I think
so
I would
that helps
personally
too.
like to have like a heavy mentor as a Pyro main. Pals needs to go play Pyro more.
Yeah, me too. I played with Zuki before, and he actually, he did help me a lot, like, during the season. Like, what should I do? Like, where should I position myself? And then also, at the same time, me learning how to, like, play
Having
Pyro.
support is super good, and I'm really glad that your team is supportive of your ideas, because honestly, a lot of the times people get stuck, especially, like, old Pyros like me. We just kind of get stuck in this one mindset, and if things change, it's like, I don't want to change. And seeing, like, fresh ideas and new gameplay styles is really cool, especially coming out of UBM.
Yeah, at first that's how I felt, because I felt like I only had to play with my medic, but I introduced them to like a few playstyles I could do, and they kind of really enjoyed the Flog playstyle, and they actually want me to run this a bit more.
It's great because
so that's pretty fun.
Weird things are like the great like things that could break sort of the mold, and if you do weird things, a lot of times even like you can upset really good teams by just being weird and doing something they don't expect and aren't prepared for.
Yeah.
Should we talk about how to stand out and like have people know who you are as a player?
Just make friends.
Be yourself.
Win and make friends, because connections matter. Like you can be like really mediocre and still get to like on good teams if you just know people, and vice versa. You can be a fantastic player and not get on good teams because you're not in a circle. Just find a circle jerk and just jerk off with them. Like honestly,
I can talk about this first, but I'll just short it down for around like a minute and 30 seconds. But if you want to stand out, and personally from my experience, I was a very toxic. I still am to personally, but I minimize that. So if you feel like you're a toxic, you just try and be nice, be yourself, and find people that like 7 said just have the same personality as you, like your own circle jerk, or just like pretty much like
that if you are a really toxic player, find toxic people. Like like that's the only team you're gonna be on.
Yeah,
like, you're not gonna get a lot of people who aren't subhuman. So just find subhumans. A lot of them exist.
I'm not gonna lie. One of my favorite times, like chapters in TF2, was playing with the Silver Savages and Pugs.
Yeah, I think even when I was 15, I could only handle one Silver Savage Pug before it got too much, and that was when I was actually like fairly toxic because I was like 15. So I don't know how I'd ever do that now.
Well, maybe I'm worse. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, but anyway, to like what I was talking about, if you're a nice player and you want to like see, oh man, I want to be the best like Spring Rolls or Arts, then just pretty much just keep playing the game, keep improving. Like if like you must have asked this a bunch of times. Like I'm telling this to the viewer, how do I get good at Pyro? Just everyone will say this in this mumble. Keep playing the game. Keep having fun. Keep practicing.
Or alternatively, human beings tend to have these things called arms that protrude off of their torsos. If you have those, you should probably get pretty good. Like,
you should just keep lifting.
One of my biggest pet peeves is seeing Pyros that only play Pyro and they're only good at Pyro. Like don't be that person. Play the game,
Yeah.
play other classes.
Also, I'd also say play other classes. Like, I got better at spy checking when I initially did what I thought would be a meme season of spy, and then I actually became the best spy in the game. So, just play other classes, I suppose. Yeah.
I
I'm
guess
not gonna lie.
going sort of against the whole circle jerk thing, I got on a boat team after what was the team? Pepe Peddlers in gold. I don't feel like I was in any who was on fucking initial boat team? Like Fusion, Penguin, Viper,
Viper as well.
Yeah.
The initial boat team is season 15 boat team, and that
not
those
one.
people. Yeah.
The one that had me on it, so the good one. But
The
I didn't really know anybody, but I think my performance in gold was good enough to stand out to give me a tryout. So
100%. Yeah, I'm not saying that. Obviously, if your performance is good and you're and you get along with people, you will get on a good team. It's just that connections fast track that. Is what I'm saying. Connections fast track it 100%.
Yeah.
I would agree with both. I mean, I've been circle jerks, and then I've been out of circle jerks, and just it's
Me
not
too.
hard for me. It's not hard for me to find teams. It's just once people know who you are and know what you do, and then it's oh, okay.
I was
just-
discovered in HL Pugs. That's how it worked for me.
Yeah, HL Pugs are definitely a good avenue
Oh, yeah,
for
actually,
any new players.
Jacob found me out through HL Pugs from remember I can remember the day it happened. I went AFK in a pug just to eat food, and he just yelled at me, and then he realized hey, you're not that bad at Pyro. You want to play for Candy? I'm like, all right, sure. I think he knew me last season though on DK. So.
Lazy, did you get picked out of pubs or I can't remember.
Yeah. The Lazy story is they should make a movie out of Lazy story. A
Lazal.
biopic.
I just played pubs a lot. I moved to the States in 2013, and I pubbed for a little bit more, and I just made a steel team with a group of friends. But after that team sort of died. And then I got to New Paul, and then I backed up for his team, and that ended up becoming the Silver Savage Circle Jerk, I guess.
So yeah, lots of avenues, lots of different ways.
Yeah.
I would say that if you're a player who's trying to be better, you should play in the highest division that you possibly can get in. With people with caveat that you should play with a team that actually tries a little bit.
Yeah, it's not good to play in a division if you're just getting shit rolled every match. But what made me better was getting destroyed by certain teams. Like in gold, I got a lot better because I was playing 92 Dream Team, and I was actually playing Slemnish was on scout that season, and I was playing a scout who actually would just crunch me if I ever overextended, and that in turn taught me to not overextend a lot. If you just sell yourself short by playing in a low division, you're never going to improve to that level because you're going to get acclimated to playing against bad people, and you're not going to improve because you're not playing against good people. Just play against good people. It's that simple.
My story is I played in iron, and then I played in steel, and then I played in silver, and then in silver I went 4 and 5, and then I went up straight to gold. With a bunch of silver players that that each individually didn't do as well in silver, but combined, we weren't. I mean, we were bad, but we weren't that bad. And so from there, those 2 seasons, from silver to gold season, I feel that was the biggest jump for me improving because I played against harder opponents. We basically just focus on improving, and I learned there's technical aspects in TF2 like configs and interp and all that stuff. So that was wait, there's interp? What is this? This entire time I'm playing with 100.
Ah yes, TF2 default setting.
Man, the day I found that out.
Yeah, and so I feel that was the biggest improvement. And then the season after that, I got 2nd place in gold, and then it's just keep playing, but always be open and don't restrict yourself. Oh, I'm gonna be the biggest DM. No, also focus on movement. There's a lot of pyros out there, and even in Plat, that have terrible movement and that don't really know how to efficiently do the power jack jump.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
I'd also recommend. Yeah, go ahead.
It's a little boost, especially on ramps and slopes and on upward. You can get to that extra 4 or 5% speed and just catch people out. And how do you get there so fast? Yeah.
I'd recommend setting your FOV to 75 because that lets you hone in on your enemies far more precisely than an FOV of 90. So FOV 75, very good.
Oh, and have
Do
your
it.
view model of like a view model
54,
like a 30.
54, the default V model FOV 54 is a really good command. Yeah, I really like that one.
I play non-ironically with 4x3. I would recommend everybody not do that.
Yeah,
I
no.
non-ironically main Pyro.
Yeah,
You should probably. Actually, no. I actually heard that the lower the resolution you play on, and the more rap music is in the background, the better you are at the game when you stream. So
See,
I would highly recommend doing both of those things.
The only reason I'm in 4x3 is because my computer is going getting even worse. So
Like,
I'm just like.
Yeah, like my
to.
game does not run on like 16:9.
That's actually me
That's
too.
pretty
Like my
interesting.
game doesn't run. I play on 1280 by 720 now. Yeah.
Hey Seven, am I doing it right? I have rap music in the background.
No, you always do everything wrong. Please stop.
Let's see if I can find another question here. One question was viability of back. Did we talk about viability of backburner?
Hey,
I
also,
guess we did earlier in the stream.
Oh, sorry.
We were talking about weapons. Let's see. Opinion on
Yes,
what air
it's
blast
pretty
does
good.
when you aim downwards. So what do you guys think about the air blast like aiming down? I think we talked about it a little bit, but I guess we'll recover.
It goes and it pops the enemy into the air, and it's kind of cool. I don't know. I don't really care.
Maybe it's a little too much force.
Reduce the force. I think if they reduce the force by half, and then it'll be the best air blast, and then they don't touch it ever again.
Yeah, I think right now it's like a little bit hindering to combos,
Yeah, a lot
I
of
guess,
combos have
maybe.
been without air
I
blast.
don't know. I wasn't like as combo oriented as other people were, so this is not really my field of expertise, I guess.
I feel like myself, I've been using flare gun a lot more than shotgun after the changes. It's just
well, with the flames being more consistent,
I guess I
you
got
can
used
hit
to
your
it,
fire
maybe?
more often now because you know where it's gonna go. So that helps with flare a lot, especially with Mojo being gone.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see. Hey, Pyro Panel, what other Valve games do you play? What other PvP multiplayer games do you play?
Pirates of the Caribbean Online is basically the greatest game ever made. They just relaunched it. I played that game when I was 10, and then a bunch of people, I don't know why, decided to reverse engineer it, so I've been playing that way more than TF2. If anyone wants to plunder Navy ships with me, just hit me up.
I like roguelikes, Binding of Isaac, Slay the Spire, etc.
So yeah, I played PUBG. Also I like I love Papers, Please, because
Oh,
I'm just really into like the environment and the whole like Eastern European aura that just emanates from that game.
The soundtrack is amazing.
And the history and the soundtrack is fantastic.
Bum,
Yeah.
bum.
If you've never played Papers, Please, just do it. It might the concept might seem boring initially, but you'll get so invested in it. It's absurd.
I like playing Paladins personally. I haven't played in a while, but I like really playing Paladins, and also like besides that, I have a console where I play like I guess Call of Duty and just like also I've recently playing Cuphead on my Xbox. So
Oh,
it's
I
pretty
forgot
fun.
about that. I do play Overwatch.
Cuphead's pretty fun, not gonna lie.
Overwatch tilts me like no other game does. I don't know how. I think it's just because of the whole like very, very hard counter aspect to it. Like if anybody played against old Diva with like really, really infinite defense matrix, that was just not fun to play against.
I only played once Overwatch. I got like a 40 kill streak, and then I didn't die. with
Also,
Junkrat, and
Lego-
then I never played
Oh,
it again.
Junkrat.
Also, literally every Lego game. We're talking Lego Star Wars, Lego Harry Potter, Lego Indiana Jones. Play those games. Those games help me more on Pyro
Okay,
than
I'm
anything
not gonna
else.
lie, the Lego games are actually so fun. Like, please judge me. I don't
they're
care.
amazing. I played them when I was 8, and I loved them then, and I play them now, and I still love them. So play them.
I enjoy Fortnite.
Oh, Fortnite's like isn't that like a new game that just recently came out, or has it been out for a while?
PUBG,
It's
except
been-
the servers aren't run by like 10 apes just flinging their shit in a room like everywhere. So it's better than PUBG server wise, is what I've heard.
You know what's
Yeah, other games. I mean, for me, I'm actually kind of RTS main. I played Age of Empires 2. Yeah, best game. Played a lot of Total War. Actually, a lot of Total
It's the
War.
quintessential
No.
RTS. Yes, fair enough.
I don't know. I just never liked it.
I played
prefer Age of-
a lot of Civ 5. I like Civ 5
Yeah.
a lot.
I
Civ 5
don't.
good.
I don't like the Civ game. But Total War. I actually played in tournaments for Rome and stuff like that, and so I guess that's where I got the big brain I get sometimes. And
Massive.
then the mask. That's why I wear the 451 because for two reasons: because I'm Hispanic and it's an illegal alien, and two because it's a big alien brain.
I wear the cotton because I think I'm fancy.
Ooh,
And then-
cosmetics. What's the best cosmetics? That's the next. Obviously, that's the next. question.
Yes.
So
The
sparkling bolted birdcage with the Sub-Zero suit is what I wear, and the birdcage in general with the apparitions aspect. It doesn't
The
matter
four-
if it's the bolted birdcage or the birdcage is the best combo ever, and no one can convince me otherwise.
The 451 with the with the smoking pyromancer.
I actually used the 451 a lot before. I used that and the sight for sore eyes before I actually got a decent unusual. Really good combo.
451 is AIDS to headshot.
Because it's
until
jiggly.
until you're used to it, yeah. Just kind of shoot the top and you're just like, what the fuck?
I have like a black smoking cotton head, so
Who's the
like
best
if you
looking
can't
pyro
headshot me,
of all
then you're
time?
brain dead.
In terms of their cosmetics. Besides yourself,
Mine.
you can't pick yourself.
Me.
Pyrus.
Second win, Pyrus.
Second when Pyrus had more, and I could pay all of my college tuition with Pyrus's like backpack.
At one
Not to
point,
PM him. He's literally so rich though.
At one point, I had a scorching attendant, so I got pretty high up there in trading.
I know.
I missed the old
That was
gas
so
jockey,
good.
the passive 10% speed.
It was so underrated by a lot of the players at the time.
It was
too,
so fun.
I feel.
Dude, okay.
But
Yeah.
you kind of get shit on harder by
Absolutely.
scouts, but it's whatever. It's worth it.
When they were remaking the pyro, I was like, if they just increased the pyro speed by 10% and knocked his health down by like 165, 150, I would have been like, oh my god, it's
That
bad.
would be nice.
Because that's what it was. That's what
Yeah,
it
that's pretty much where.
Yeah, I just wanted that back and fix the degreaser bugs, and then I
Yeah,
would have
we,
been the happiest
honestly, there's
person
like,
on this planet.
we could go through like, oh, there's all these different changes you could do, but sometimes it's just kind of the simple things that can make Pyro kind of click a lot better. It's kind of unappreciated, like the small changes that you could do. Oh yeah, there's a question about, do any of you guys stream?
I would. I've considered doing it at college because my ping isn't awful, but I just have this thing where
Same.
I feel like if I stream, I'm just gonna play worse, even if I know like one person is specking me, so
Yeah,
I
streaming's hard.
don't stream.
I would
I
personally.
can't stream. I
I
play on a
record demos.
laptop.
I record demos on my YouTube channel, but I do not stream.
I would personally stream all my matches in scrims and I guess pubs if I felt like it. But at my two hamsters, they're kind of tired
It
of
takes a lot of effort.
running. The little coal plant. It takes a lot of effort. It already takes me like 10 minutes to get into the game. So imagine
I have
streaming.
like I do stream, but I have my OBS settings like the CPU preset on like the highest it goes, which makes shit like look really bad.
What's your stream URL, Swingers?
Oh, I should plug it.
Feel free to link the
Twitch.tv.
links to the chat.
Wait,
Also,
what
yeah.
fuck? What is it?
Also, yeah, I posted it in the chat. But
Yeah, add me on Snapchat.
posted it in the chat, but 7TF2 on YouTube. That's my channel. You can go there and subscribe, and I'll be
I'm
happy.
trying to see if there's any other questions. I might have missed some on the True TFT server just in case someone posted there. Let me just check. There's some new comments there. Is the thermal thruster completely viable? Well, we talked about that earlier. Not really.
But
Yeah.
I like my succinct
What
response
loadout
to
would you
that.
recommend a Steel Highlander Pyro for this season? Girls already answered it, but yeah.
degreaser,
and Power
shotgun,
Jack, and
flare
then
gun,
whatever
power
secondary
jack.
seems
That's
good.
it.
Scorch, or yeah, whatever secondary you want.
The shotgun flare gun is good for if you're learning
Shotgun flare
in
gun.
particular. You don't want to rely too heavily on spam damage if your like flare and shotgun DM isn't up to speed.
Because
Hey, but, like-
look at the reason why I don't like detonator or scorch shot for beginning
Yeah.
people, because then you get bad habits. You're never gonna get good flare aim. Getting good flare aim is like the strongest aspect on pyro, and you're
Yeah,
not
okay.
gonna get it with scorch shot.
Scorch shot
That's not
travels does it travel at a different speed? I don't know.
It's the same.
Splash, yeah.
Okay.
It's the same. It's just a splash, but that like mindset that like, oh, I can go for splash, and then when you go for flare gun, and then we're like, I can't hit anything anymore.
Plus, you like aim at the feet, right? For scorch
Yeah.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much just like, hey, you get free damage off here. Just be bad and just spam it, you know? But with shotgun and flare gun, you can actually sort of take aim. So, yeah.
And lower
That's
your
why you should
sensitivity.
Yeah, experiment
Don't play
with
with
your
6,
settings,
7
for
inches
sure.
for 360. Play
Unless
with
you're
20 plus.
unless you're
Play-
Banny.
Play with 20 plus.
So playing
Dude,
against
someone
Banny is
added my
actually
snap.
AIDS.
Let's see if I can think of if there's any more. Thoughts on running the gas can for one life on payload attack?
I've considered trying it.
I think it
but
depends on
I'll
like
have to
which
see if it actually
payload.
pans out. I don't know.
Like Borneo, Borneo, I could see it being good.
I just want them to make it more spammable, I suppose. Then it would be more viable. But
Yeah,
until
exactly.
then, and the stupid mechanic where you have to wait for it to fill up, that doesn't apply to Girardi. That doesn't apply to any other throwable item. Why should it
Girardi
apply to
and
this?
Mad Milk is like
Girardi
infinitely
is
better.
stronger, and Girardi and Mad Milk are stronger than this, and they don't
Yeah.
even have to do that, which is like the dumbest thing ever. I
Can
don't
we
know
talk
if they'll
about
fix
unlocks
it.
we want to ban? In
Um,
Highlander?
I mean, most of them that are obviously I mean, which ones are unbanned that should be banned?
I think-
Virgin
I can
Pistol,
give you guys
Virgin
the list
Pistol,
right now.
Virgin Pistol,
Yeah,
Pretty
Virgin
Boys
Pistol.
Pocket,
No.
Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol.
I
Banned.
disagree.
Here we go.
You don't think the Virgin Pistol should be banned? Oh my
Virgin
god!
Pistol. Oh, by the way, if the stream doesn't
the-
know, Virgin Pistol is a Pretty Boys Pocket Pistol.
Look at the pistol is only helpful for the scout.
What's
Mad
the
Milk is
smoke on
stronger
the
not only
smoke
for
on
yourself
it?
but
I
for the
haven't
team because you can
considered
shoot.
that.
Yeah, but Mad Milk's
Scatter.
also broken.
we
I
can
think
Yeah,
Mad Milk
reflect
should be
actually,
it.
yeah,
banned.
I was about to say Mad Milk should also be banned.
But we can reflect it.
Yeah, but so pocket pistol is better for the scout himself in situations like, but Mad Milk is super strong still, like against a
Like,
heavy.
no,
that's
even if
an
you have focus
instant
fire
win.
on the scout, he can
'Cause-
still just kind of kill
Hey
the
guys,
guy
do you
with
wanna-
attack.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear the
Ban
unbans?
Girardi.
You guys want to hear the unbans? Because this is the following unbans: Reserve Shooter, Sandblast, Beggar's Bazooka, Mantreads, Dragon's Fury,
Yeah, he
Gas
said
Passer,
Sandblast.
your Hot
Did you
Hand.
say Sandblast? Sandman. Wait, so what's the Sandman
Sandman.
now?
Ban
Is
Sandblast,
it broken still? Like, what's the Sandman now? What does it do?
It's like slow, right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's
It
Then
slows you down.
Then it's probably not broken.
The Deculus
Natasha.
Bar, Second Banana,
Bad
Vitasaw,
than
Dark
Natasha.
Danger Shield, and the final one, Razorback.
Ban Sandblast.
Razorback is okay to unban because it's bad now anyway. Like, not being able
No.
to buff the sniper was finally like the actual thing where I'm okay with at least
I
seeing
think
how
at
it
lower
goes because I
levels
think
that
it'll
could
be
be
okay.
really dangerous
personally.
if like the sniper's just carrying like steel team and then the enemy just cannot do anything. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but he's easier
That's-
to
but
kill
if it's
for
a
everyone
steel team,
because it's 125
like-
and he can't get buffed.
It's gonna be.
I
This
mean,
is
if it's
true.
a steel
this
team,
is
an
true.
engineer can carry a steel team, so it's like
Dragon's Fury is actually going to destroy and steal. Like, it's just going to eviscerate the division. I can predict it now.
no.
There's
I
a
don't
lot
think
of
so.
players that cannot
Really?
aim.
Dragon's Fury? I feel like people will
with
just
the
feed
weapon.
it. Oh,
Like,
that's
especially all the
true.
pub
That's true.
I forgot that steel's like the lowest now.
Steel would be
Sure.
anything goes in steel. Like you can have a medic carry. I think.
Hey, actually, I have a question. Like, it wasn't asked, but like, I'm just curious. Actually, what do you guys think of the difference between like a silver pyro and a platinum pyro?
The silver pyro doesn't have the money to pay the fees to play in UGC Platinum, whereas I do because I'm rich. Also, the
Classic
salary.
7.
Wait, no, the salary for a silver pyro usually is like 20K to 30K a year, but when you get to plat, it's like 70, 80K. You start pulling in the big bucks. So yeah, that's the big difference.
I agree.
But I'd largely say just, I mean, obviously the DM aspect doesn't matter as much, but just general positioning and game sense is the biggest. When to take heals, when the heals you're taking are superfluous. Like
Honestly,
kind
I
of
feel
stuff.
like DM is the biggest part because
Well, I think before it was. Now DM is literally just
no,
I have a
think-
mouse.
Think
I have a
DM
mouse.
because everyone's on equal footing, and the Pyro has stronger DM. He's still gonna have stronger DM.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Pyro, like, okay, personally, the difference between the silver pyro and the platinum pyro is like, yeah, of course, DM, but like, BM just played silver last season, so like, he could probably say that
2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago. Goddamn, I'm old. Like, what do you think's the difference, BM, in your opinion, actually? Because you just recently knew, so.
Like more in plat, more teams can shut down a pyro compared to silver, so you can't do as much. That's the main thing. And then I feel like silver pyros don't know when to retreat, so like they go in but they don't retreat. So they just feed and they play less with combo. Or some of them just play with combo and don't do anything else.
Classic.
I feel like Pyro's the best class in the game at like if like your opponent's hit scan just can't do anything. And like in lower divisions, like the hit scan is so bad. But like in higher divisions, if you like just peek shit, like the scout will destroy you, sniper will destroy you.
And if you try and
Tortoise
just
is
like
always
rush a
alive.
scout, you're just gonna get done, because like,
Yeah. Like
Like-
if you ever ring in like a silver match, like you don't respect any player. Like and you can
Exactly.
kill
Just walk
anybody.
in.
I still
Yeah.
don't respect snipers.
You can just disrespect snipers in silver and
Yeah.
just kill the whole team because
Yeah,
they can't
when
aim.
when I played demo in silver, and I was like, "Why are you picking the sniper? It's silver. Just pick the sniper, please."
but I don't know, man. Silver Pyro, I feel like Silver Pyro, like, probably a top 3 Silver Pyro could easily play, like, Platinum, in my opinion.
Well, that's more of a
Yeah.
division skill level
That's
thing.
just the fact that divisions inevitably bleed into each other once you get high enough.
As they
Oh,
should.
yeah, of course.
As they should.
And possible sandbags. But I don't really think. Is that a
Sandbag
problem?
and
Is that a problem
silver.
now? I don't actually know.
Shout out to season
asked
13
us our opinions on this particular
IFA.
gas passer throw. I linked in our Mumble. I'll link it in the chats as well once again.
Let's see this.
It's broken as shit. It shouldn't exist. I don't know. But then again, the gas pass are so bad that maybe it's like it's compensation. I don't know.
How do people
Wait.
find this? How do people find
What?
this?
Wait, what is that?
Real question.
How?
TMP,
What the hell,
Real,
you grew-
real question. I need the task TMP this. How on earth do you find this stuff out? I need to know. Please,
Legit.
please respond. I need to know.
Like, do you ever just sit there one day, just, like, start spamming, like, gas passes all over the map?
I bet this wall is semi-permeable. Let me test it.
Okay, wait,
Wait,
that,
There's like a
What
thing on
else?
Upward
What
too.
else can you
in
do?
theory, that means the Girardi could do that.
Because I know you can shoot through flames.
Back in the
like,
day.
through a wall.
Yeah,
if
like
they're, like,
thin
certain-
walls.
I don't think that's
Also,
in the
something
I
TMP
think
made a
that-
video
with thin
about.
wall.
I don't think you
Oh,
can
sure,
shoot flames through walls anymore.
Wait, what?
I think they've patched that.
No,
You would.
TMP, can you confirm or deny this recently? Because on upward roof you can do it. I used to do it on the first part when they're in spawn and they're doing the setup. You can just shoot through the flames.
This video is actually magical. I don't understand.
Dude, TMP's just legit, like, a wizard.
All right. Let's see if I can field any more questions.
Yo, man. Anything else we could talk about? I don't know, man. Maybe we could just talk about, you know, who has the biggest pyro vagina in
I
here.
don't know how to begin answering that
Wait, what?
question.
I don't even know
What?
how that's supposed to
Yeah,
mean.
that was kind of weird. That was kind of weird. So we're gonna skim over that and not talk about it
Alright,
again
Oblivion,
because it was
go to your
weird.
corner. Go to your
Oh,
corner.
yeah,
Yeah.
Tucson from Australia. He's like, I think he's the top Australia pyro.
Can we just talk about pals? I like pals. I love pals.
You
Can
know
we
what?
talk about
Pals is
I
actually
like
a
pals.
good admin on
He's my
TF2.
pal.
In
I
case
love
you guys weren't
pals.
aware,
Pugs.
and
Please love
TMP
me
showed
back,
this in the
pals.
video, if you aim down, flames will do a lot, or like a bit more damage per tick. Like if your opponent's right in front of you at point blank, compared to if you aim forward. So T-Sun says it's 9 damage if you aim on the ground compared to 7, but I'm not sure of the numbers. So maybe that's correct. TMP might be able to confirm too.
Wait,
Also, yes, lighting flames. Yeah, go ahead.
I just play the class, you know. I just play the game. You know, you guys find me stuff and I'll be like, okay, I'll take note. And then that's it.
Do you guys? Oh, actually, hold on. Do you guys remember the glitch? There was a glitch at one point. Everyone thought like the flare gun got nerfed, like where it did detonator damage.
Oh,
You guys remember that?
The
Oh,
flare
yeah.
gun? Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
I was freaking out. Like for a whole day, I thought the flare gun was just like, I can't use flares anymore. I'm gonna have to be a But the day after, I was so
actually-
sad.
it
Yep.
was
Yeah, I'm actually writing a novel about Chris 18. It's sort of erotic. If
Good
you
lord.
have any interest in it, just hit me up and I'll send you a rough draft. Thanks.
yes, please.
I assume
Yeah.
it only involves Asian and white women.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Women.
100%, yeah.
Okay. A couple of days ago, actually, someone added me through a pub because apparently my flames were invisible to him, and then he asked me if I
What?
had the script for invisible flames. Like,
Oh yeah, no, I've noticed that too.
isn't
yeah,
there
that
is there a
happens
s-
so much.
is there an actual script, like a fast firing script that makes your
Oh,
flames
Yeah,
invisible?
no, I saw a Reddit post on it.
Is there really?
I would
We'll
actually
see if
use,
I can
would
find
use
it.
I would use view models if that were the
What?
case.
Remember when we MG'd like a couple days ago and like you had invisible flames and I was just screaming about it?
No, I don't.
Yeah, oh dude, like we were just MGing and I just see your invisible flames. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, the real crime is that you were Pyro v Pyro MGing.
Okay,
Oh, I
no, that's not the
remember
topic
now.
of matter. That's not the topic right there.
Spee.
Spook.
Alright, looks like
Hey, Pedro, you want a Spy v Spy MG?
Yes, can we do it on stream actually?
No.
So, is that an actual? Like, I'm asking you
Mm-hmm.
guys because I've never heard of this. I never seen it, and then someone just brings it out of the blue, and then since
I don't like whenever I see shit like this, I just kind of assume it's TF2 being TF2. You know, like
Yeah.
because there's still like invisible player bugs and like just fucking floating hats and shit.
TMP has
Like
some-
I always just assume that like the game's breaking and it's not like an actual exploitable thing.
But like recently though, I actually experienced it and like I said in the MG, like I just see like the flames were invisible and I couldn't tell where the flames were going. So maybe it's just like I have no idea.
I was aware that
just
like at least in the view
what
model, if you
happening?
just tap click, the first few particles aren't particularly visible. But I wasn't sure if that actually applied to the other players. So I guess we'll have to do some more testing on that. TMP says it's the same script as the invisible flog script from back in the day.
So it is.
So BM, you have scripts, you
also-
hacker.
Wait. So, okay, I have no idea how it works.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
TMP is the
ask
god
TMP how it
of
works.
little pyro details. Something I really appreciate.
Can we get TMP and Mumble? I want him in here. TMP, join us. I will give you the
Let's
token.
see. He also said that flame damage is done by the distance of the oldest flame particle that's touching the target to where it was fired. So if you shoot down, your oldest flame particles don't go as far into the enemy. So basically, like at the back of the enemy, that's
like-
gonna connect. Like that's gonna calculate your damage if you're point blank. But if you're aiming down, then
Yeah, that's like consistent with every other projectile in the game, right? Like if you like bomb a soldier and you shoot like a rocket super high in the air, but like if you're close to the rocket when you land, it'll still do like
kind
112
of,
as
yeah.
opposed
It's
to like
because
48,
flames,
you know? Like
since
because
they calculate based on if you're in at least one.
That's what I noticed when I like jump with demo. I jump, throw 2 stickies in the ground, and then I don't detonate until I like get near it, and then it does full
Yeah,
damage.
it's because it depends
like,
on your
since,
distance.
they can't
Yeah.
calculate the damage based on like some random flame particle. I guess they could, but they chose to be like, okay, the oldest one that's still alive and in the player is gonna be the one that judges the damage.
Wait, sticky damage is predicated upon how close you are to the sticky? The demo is?
Yeah.
Is that what you're... I didn't know that. That's
Same with
interesting.
rockets, yeah.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
well, that makes... Oh, it's how close you are to the...
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that
as
makes,
opposed
that
to
makes
like
sense, yeah.
point of origination, I guess is the word. I don't know.
Wait, but does that mean like if you drop a sticky and then someone walks over it, but you're further away? Then no, wait, that doesn't make sense. I'm confused.
So you jump, and then in the middle of the air, you throw a sticky. And you're a medic. So instead of doing 30 damage when you land near the sticky, it does the full 100.
Oh, I
Alright, guys,
see.
we should
okay.
be,
yeah, I guess that
go
makes
for
more
it.
sense.
Because it's basing off of your distance to your projectile and not where it came
Yeah,
from.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
we should start.
Yeah, we've
wrapping
been
up
like talking
soon.
for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
There's so many
It's
details
Pyro.
for
It's the
Pyro
most
for
interesting
sure.
class in the game.
And I'm excited. I'm gonna be
Def.
working on a lecture style video series where I describe optimal pyro play as best I can. And if you guys want to help out with that and contribute, go ahead and get in touch.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, I might.
could help
I might
if
try
you
to get in
want,
touch
you
with
can help me
TMP
with
if
that.
he's willing as well.
I helped you with
Try to
this,
get little
so.
details.
Yeah, getting
Love
the number of scientific insight into this
Yeah,
is
Pyro has
for me it's
tons
kind
of
of really
stuff.
fascinating.
I'm actually majoring. I'm actually majoring in TF2
Quantum-
mechanics at school. I'm getting my
Advanced
degree
quantum
soon.
TF2
It's really,
mechanics.
it's a, yeah.
Quantum physics of TF2.
But yeah, let's see. If anyone has any last questions in the chat, feel free to ask away. And within
For anyone else as well. For Johnny, Lee.
go for it.
Bowl of mayo.
Yeah, I think we should do that. Maybe
Any shoutouts actually?
All right,
We
we'll
could
go.
do
Let's start with
shoutouts if you
Arts.
guys
We'll go
want.
down.
Shout out to Sparhawk, the Apollo Dash gang, to the old TMC gang. They're all grown up now and left me. Zach Colin 4, miss you, buddy.
Yeah, go for it.
My turn?
Yeah.
Yes.
Shout out to PYP, Bowl of Mayo, The Doors, Red Baron Waz, and
Alright.
Mad Ring Me.
Shout outs to the hard asses from back in the day. They're the ones that got me like good at the game because they were better than me at the time. And shout out to everyone who's taught me all the things that I know and who supported me through all this.
Shout out to TF2 hats, Second
Okay.
Hand Mercenaries, Imperium Highlander, Sports
Okay.
Illustrated, Taffy,
Okay, Seven.
Pizza
Okay, Seven.
Weekend,
We skipped 2 people.
EVL Gaming, Gator 123, Heisen, Mr.
7-year
Bubbles,
ban.
Young
You
Squad,
skipped 2 people.
and Cuddly Cat.
Lazy.
Steve! Soccer
And you cut.
Steve!
And Cuddly Cat. And Soccer Steve.
All
Soccer
right.
Steve.
Okay. Fine.
All right.
You know what?
Shout
Most
out
of all,
to
Cuddly Cat.
shout out to the Badwater Circle Jerk and the Nasty Circle Jerk as well.
Shout out to NSR Orange.
Oh my god.
Shout out to HL Pugs.
God damn it! Shout out to Travis. You've been with me since day one. Shout out to like every Pyro in this mobile and everyone who needs to get this far. Shout out to Will Smith. You've been a real
They're
idol in
watching
my
right now with the
eyes.
tears in
Shout
their
out to
eyes.
Kim Jong Un. Hopefully you
shout
nuke
out
me.
to Fast Forward. Shout out to Fast Forward. Shout out to No Breaks. Yeah.
Shout out to Fast Forward. Fast Forward gang.
All right.
Also shout out to Burritos.
Shout out to Terry for picking me up out of TF2 Center. That was a bad decision, but he did it anyway.
He put me on demo.
It's Terry. Shout out to, I don't know, I guess Brick Viper, anybody who thought I was good and picked me up on boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
HL Pugs.
Oh,
great.
shout out to HL Pugs. It's pretty cool. Even though my win rate is like well, it's really bad. I don't actually know what it is right now, but it's really bad. But still, shout out to
Alright,
them.
I don't think we got any new questions in chat. So it looks like we're good here. We're good to go. Thank you everyone for watching. Shoutouts to all of the viewers in particular. I'll be uploading this on my YouTube channel, so be sure to like and subscribe and click the notification bell. I'll be making some video series on Pyro and optimizing its gameplay. If you guys want to shout out your social media stuff too, go for it.
I guess that page is the best one.
7TF2 on YouTube.
Simply
I'm on
BM
Steam
on
as well. I'll answer any
YouTube.
question.
Twitch.tv
Also, yeah, twitch.tv/7TF2, although I don't use it.
spring_rolls with a 0, because spring rolls is taken. Fuck you, whoever did that.
Add me on Snap. You already know. Pedro's the best one. I'll repeat that 20 times.
My computer can't run Twitch, so I mean can't stream, so yeah. Maybe in the future.
Alright, we're gonna be ending this off. Thank you guys so much for coming, and to all our viewers, have a wonderful time. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for coming by.